Good evening. My name's Cameron Gray, and I'm currently undertaking Assessment 1 video pitch for operational improvement through AIM. I would like to talk to the management group tonight in relation to an exciting opportunity for digitisation of a local business that I've recently purchased, being Newcastle Steel Distributors. I want to quickly go through 5 key areas which I think that the board will be potentially interested in terms of an investment. Forces of change and the importance of change management for Newcastle Steel Distributors. Obviously, it's a business that's been in operation for approximately 20 to 25 years, and it's still very much using 20th century technology. What we are looking at doing is through the process of digitisation, with several key forces of change occurring in globally within the steel industry, but such as shifting competitive consumer and business contexts, evolving customer expectations for faster service, unexpected new entrants to the steel sector, which is combining with growing competition, and more transparent services and automation is also compounding that with obviously the customer expectations for different types of products that we start to look at there. Now, the area of operations that we're currently looking at here for the digitisation is actually the steel cutting department or section of the business, which essentially they process steel lengths to whatever the order's put in at. So the area of operations, we've got some sort of concerns in that in relation to behaviours from people and employees in terms of how this may go because it will be a change management perspective. Some of our people don't have the necessary skills, and we're aware of that, and also process-related changes in that. So when we start to look at the digitisation rationale and benefits for operational improvement, obviously digitisation has become a modern pillar of operational strategies. Research does support this with digitisation using digital technology to change how business models work. The analysis that we have conducted in relation to digitising the current business and how that may work to incorporate those organisational goals and strategies that we're starting to look at. The next step that we are looking at there is obviously how does that work with things like Industry 4.0 and that data analytics as a core capability, and with looking at what does that mean for us? So a few small things is we're looking at the mobile devices. How does that integrate into machinery? So we can do the maintenance, and we can also data analytics for process. We're looking at smart sensors so that we can see where product lines are up to, product storage, things like that. We then start to look at cloud computing so that we're taking it away from a server, and it's therefore accessible 24 hours from any given location. Some of the other things we're starting to look at too is location detection technologies, so that we can see what's in the warehouse, we know where it is, and we obviously look for that improvements in change through that process. And also we're looking at the integration of IoT platforms to really allow that efficient collection of data, again, to be combined in that process. So that's sort of the major things that we're looking at for this digital technologies package for the digitisation, and that would allow for an end-to-end process from an order all the way through to production with minimal input, so that we allow that efficiency to continue along. Now, obviously, this doesn't come without risks. So some risk barriers and enablers with the digitisation for the change management. We have identified a number of things, which is obviously one of the biggest risks is lack of understanding how to operate fully digitised saws from our current employees. We are looking at training packages for that, and how we do that is obviously going to be very closely monitored through that change management to ensure that we get the appropriate people trained, and obviously safety is a huge consideration there. Now, one of the big barriers is potentially cultural resistance to a change from the workforce. A lot of the employees are long-term standing employees. Again, we're proposing that we take early engagement of employees to start to show the benefits and also long-term viability of their employment for a change of this type. Now, for an enabler, we're also looking at the data-driven decision-making to help those employees really understand the process, to really capitalise on not only the business dynamics, but also the employee dynamics as well, and also utilising technology to help them along. Now, some key recommendations from this would be obviously employee consultation about the changing process for machines. We do need to buy brand new cutting saws to do this. Obviously, we need to update the steel cutting process with an end-to-end process, incorporating the Industry 4.0 sort of parameters for digitisation, and also include the cloud and computing parameters, training for new employees, and we also need to review the warehouse layout to ensure that we are getting that best utilisation of workflow from that process, and also some training for fault finding and things like that. Should anything not go maybe as well as what we should thought during time to time. When we start to look at the conclusion of this and some key recommendations, obviously we're starting to look at the process is more than achievable. We believe that with complete digitisation, we're going to see a number of things come in play with five key areas combined. With the digitised machines being the smart sensors in the production line, cloud computing, location detection technologies, the IoT platforms, and the mobile devices, combined with the workforce planning and training analytics. We do believe that this is a highly successful proposal, which will obviously increase the ability of the business. Whilst we're only talking about the cutting section now, we are looking at long term for further full digitisation across the business. Thanks very much.